I believe we are now live on YouTube and Instagram. I got the green checks, so we are now live. Welcome everybody that is going to tap into our live stream today. What I do being crew is your boy Savon Thomas per usual. Um, and it looks like Instagram's not letting me go live. Anyways, I figured that was probably the case. But YouTube's live, so that's fine. But welcome to Coffee and Commons, per Coffee and Friends, excuse me, per usual. Today we have our review of Bridgerton season 3, part 1. So all they released is 4 episodes so far, so that's pretty interesting how they're doing that. But we have a new crew, actually two previous people that did the Bridgerton review, and then we have a new person as well joining us. So I'm excited for you guys to meet everybody. Who wants to introduce themselves first? Bree, Gabby, Jasmine, anybody? Go first.
I
All
can.
right,
All
Okay.
right.
go ahead, Bree.
Okay. Hi, I'm Brie Munoz. Yeah, I'm excited for this podcast. I am actually an Airbnb content creator, so I love like collabing with different businesses, especially on Instagram and all that stuff. So first one with Savon, I was excited. I think I was one of the first ones to say that I wanted to do this. And it took no convincing. He was like, "Well, let me know." I was like, "I'm in." So, yeah. Anything else in our introductions, Savon?
No, that's whatever you feel like sharing, Bree. It's up to you. Perfect. Jasmine, Gabby.
I'll go next. So I'm Jasmine. Previously on the Queen Charlotte podcast with Savon, and so you may have seen me there. I am a Dallas food restaurant content creator, so you can catch me posting different restaurants and the food there as well. So
Awesome. Gabby, be quiet. It's on you now.
Yes. Oh yeah. Hi, Gabby. I don't really create content. I just indulge in stuff. So yeah, that's me.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I appreciate you guys. We are missing two other people that are supposed to be part of this pod. Angelique, who is having issues connecting, and then Z, Ziona, who's been on a couple of other podcasts that being crew have seen, but she's having issues. Oh, here we go. Here is Angelique on, and Z's on. All right, so perfect. Well, we wait for Z to get her camera, but how's it going, Angelique?
Hey guys, sorry for the technical difficulties over here.
No, you're fun. You're fun. We're doing introductions, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so are we like, is there anything specific we're mentioning?
Plug any social medias you want to. Just say who you are. Anything you want to talk about.
Yeah, Angelique. I am located in the Austin, Texas area. And I mean, honestly, Bridgerton is like my favorite show. So I'm really excited to be here and to talk about it and share with you guys. So,
Awesome. And then we also have Zion. Oh no, never mind. Zion is gone. She
Oh,
was here, and she's gone. But anyways, so I'm excited for all you guys. Like Bree mentioned, she was one of the first people to hit me up about being on this podcast for it. But I know every single one of y'all, and I know all of y'all are Bridgerton fans. So have y'all started? Like, did y'all start season 1? Like, when did y'all start watching Bridgerton? Like, was it as soon as it came out? You were fans? Have you read the books? Like, I'm curious on like when you guys have seen the show from.
I did not. I'm anytime anything's trending, I'm weird and I won't hop on right away. And so I didn't hop on, I think, right not until right before season 2 came out. Um, and it was more of like I knew I wanted to eventually see it. I don't know. I'm weird when people are talking about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. But then obviously like the season 1 and then season 2, I think shortly came out a few days after, and so I was hooked.
Nice. Anybody else?
yeah, so
I
I
think
probably started Bridgerton not right when it came out. It took me a minute, but it was more out of curiosity because at first I was like, this is not something I would be into, but it was talked about everywhere, and like Brie said, it was kind of like trending, so it was more curiosity, and then I got hooked. So
Gabby, Jasmine.
It took me maybe a few weeks or a month before I actually started watching once it came out. And then once it came out, I'm like, this is like the best thing that they've ever put out. The show is really good.
Yeah, I didn't start watching it, I think, until Queen Charlotte because Leslie was watching it. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And then I started to watch all of it. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so same thing for me. Like I had never heard of this show, period. Right? But then like the biggest thing that hooked me on the show when I first saw it was a period piece that included black people and it wasn't like service people. Like they were actually like people of high respect, high honor, and I was like, look at these black people out here like living life, like because that's in my mind. I'm like, there has to be a show that depicts black people that aren't just working as the help. You know what I mean? So that kind of hooked me. And I'm not a big romance guy, but this show is just the stories are just good. You know what I mean? And what's just crazy too is like I've heard the books go into way more depth than the TV show does. Like the books are basically like a book talk if you want like romance books that people read. Nicholas Cage and Nicholas Sparks, excuse me, and all those other books. Bridgerton is kind of like the same vein of those books, but that's cool. So you mentioned Gabby, you got into it, Queen Charlotte. What has been y'all's favorite season so far? Not including this season. Don't include this season. But out of all the seasons so far that have come out, what has been y'all's favorite season?
I like the one with Anthony and Kate. They're my favorite, hands down.
Okay, so season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really loved the Queen Charlotte one. I thought it was so beautifully told, and I was like, ugh, it's a little different than the Bridgerton like kind of typical storyline. But I think that was why I loved it so much. And I just when it ended, I was like, ugh, that was so good. So that was my favorite.
I was gonna say Queen Charlotte as well because it gave so much background on why she was so angry all the time, and then I'm like, she had every right to be angry, so it all made sense after watching Queen Charlotte. So
Queen
that
Charlotte.
was
So 2 votes for Queen Charlotte, 1 vote for season 2. Angelique.
I love season 1. I do love
Really?
Queen Charlotte too. It's a tough one, but I do love season 1. I just love Daphne and Simon.
Mhm.
They're just I don't know their story. Maybe it's just because it was the first one and it's like that was like the intro. But yeah, I think season 1 was one of my faves.
I agree. I agree. I agree that is really good. For me, my favorite has been season 2. Like you said, Gabby, with Anthony and Kate. Just the enemies to lovers like trope. It was fantastic to me. Like I just thought it was very, very, very well done. And all the drama between like him trying to like fight between his honor and like actually marrying for love. It's just I don't know. It's just such kiss. But I would say, in my opinion, season 2 is first. Queen Charlotte, and then season. So I'm sorry, Angelique.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind being the odd one out. That's okay.
Oh man, we have a couple people watching this stream. If you guys are watching, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what y'all's favorite season has been so far as well. We are doing a merch giveaway at the end of this, so if you guys leave a comment, I'll be sure to add you into the giveaway for this. But yeah, so while everybody's here, let's get into part 1 of season 3. So what I guess the first thing I want to touch on is what were your expectations for the season? Because it's kind of interesting because I knew that Penelope and Colin would be together. You know what I mean? Like before the season even started. But like my expectation, I didn't know how they were going to put them together because they never really had that kind of like interest like between each other. So like, what was y'all's expectation for this season going into watching it?
I
Oh,
agree. I didn't think that I didn't know how they were going to kind of put them together or what else they were going to do outside of that. And then kind of seeing the Eloise Penelope beef continue as well. That was my expectations.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that too. When I was watching this, the recap in the very beginning caught me up a lot because I was like, I forgot that they're beefing. I forgot even what they were beefing about, and it was just because Penelope wrote some scathing in Lady Whistledown, and she found out she was Lady Whistledown. So, but yeah, so Jasmine, that was your expectation. Anybody else?
I
I
was
feel
hoping that just because after Queen Charlotte, like again, it was so good, and I know like this series is all about the steamy parts, but I don't like series when it's like all about it and like no storyline. So I just wanted to make sure like it kept with that, and as being like technically, I guess the fourth season in this kind of series, sometimes it's like hit or miss, and so I was just really hoping that it was still sticking to like a good story plot and not just all the steamy parts. And it did. I mean, there was all the steamy parts still in there, and so it was still good.
Nice. We
yeah.
have
I
Z.
think
Hold on, real quick, Angelique. We do
no,
have
you're good. You're
Ziona
good.
just joined the stream. Welcome, Z,
I'm
to the
sorry.
live.
I'm trying to make sure my camera is it good or I feel
No,
like I'm
you're
No, turn
good.
it, turn
You're
it.
sideways.
Yeah, you're like up and down. Turn it. I don't know how to tell you.
If your
Left, I
phone's
guess.
locked, take it off a lock. It'll keep doing that.
Yeah, take your phone off lock.
um
But while we're welcoming Z, Angelique, you were saying?
Yeah, so I think kind of like everyone's already said, like I expected something with Penelope and Colin. It was definitely curious. I was definitely curious, just like you guys have said, of like how they were going to bring them together. But I was also curious just about like of the girls, Eloise, like she in the previous season, she was her first season out. So I was curious what that was going to look like for her for this season. But that was kind of more of what I was wanting to see, I guess, this season.
Nice. I just want to address this comment real quick. Anna Rubio, thank you. Agreeing with me. I appreciate you. I just love hearing people agree with me, like it warms my soul to know that I'm right. So thank you for your comment. Appreciate you. But yeah, so welcome Z. Z, quick introduction. I know you were on previous podcasts, but quick introduction of yourself to the viewers.
okay, well, I appreciate y'all being patient with me, even though y'all already started without me. It's okay. But my name is Ziona, and yeah, during the day I do sales full time, and I love Bridgerton. It's one of my favorite shows. So I practically begged Savon to add me to this podcast. So thanks, Savon. Appreciate that. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Ziona Wuru. I also have a gym page. I post fitness content on there. So feel free to go on there if you're into fitness. But yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. So expectations, Jasmine, Angelique shared. Anybody else have expectations before going into the season? What they were thinking, like would happen?
Yeah, I wanted Eloise and Penelope to fight because I was like, why did you do her like that? Like you were lying to her this whole time, saying y'all are friends, and then you did her like that, and you're mad that she's mad that you told on her like that. That made no sense to me, and I didn't want her to end up with Colin because I'm like, y'all don't really match to me, and he's kind of ugly. And if you don't like you, he
man,
didn't claim you.
man, that's interesting because
Wow.
everybody has been like on Instagram about Colin because he got buff, like he got like real big.
He had a glow up. He had a really big glow up.
Definitely.
Which they say like all the characters when they get their season, like they have like the glow up or whatever. Anthony apparently did too, in season 2 from what the Instagram people.
You didn't see it, Saban?
What do you mean? I'm a dude, so I'm not gonna be like, oh man, this dude is so handsome now. Like, no, he looks the same to me.
I don't
It
even
just
think
looks.
they got a glow up. I think they just stopped hiding their ugliness because the first season they like put a lot of costume on them to make them look like really weird, and then second season they just make them look more attractive. So that's what I
Yeah,
think.
I think they just told him to get in the gym because he definitely looks bigger. Like
Yeah.
they made a point to like showcase him taking his shirt off and showing his muscles and things like that. But Bree, Z expectations going into the season.
I was curious on how, I guess, kind of what y'all mentioned too, how they're going to put them together, all while being that like we now know who Lady Whistletown down whatever is, because I feel like I'm the opposite of Gabby. I'm so sorry. I'm totally on Penelope's side. I'm like, can she get over it? Like, can they stop fighting? Which obviously makes it great for the good storyline. But I was wondering how that was going to play out, if they were still going to be like mad at each other or friends, and now being that Colin was going to be the love interest. And yeah, and turns out they're not friends still. So
Nice. And Z expectations going into the season. What were you expecting?
I had high expectations, like really high expectations for this season. I just think my expectations were not met, which we can talk about later. But I just, I just expected the storyline between Penelope and Colin to be like very much in depth more than it was. I think that they deserved more. I feel like I expected more character development from Colin as well, because like all the other like characters previously, they all had their struggles that he had to like overcome, especially the male leads. And I just feel like Colin, it was like, okay, he traveled. Okay, what else did he do? I don't feel like his character had a lot of depth, or he had like some demons he had to fight or something. Like, I just feel like it was just a shallow character for Colin. So I expected more depth from him, but maybe it'll come in the other half.
I was gonna say we got a whole other half coming.
Yeah.
True.
Like,
Well, we haven't even got to the review yet. Z's already like, I'm diving into Colin's character. We're just talking about we're building up, and Z's like, we're just gonna dive in right now. I don't give a damn.
That was my expectation.
No, you're fine. Like I told everybody that was new to the podcast, we just flow, right? We will go into topics, come at topics, because there's things that come to my mind sometimes. I'm like, I have to address this, or people comment something, and I'll address that too. But again, shout out to everybody tuning into the live. We have a few people in here. Shouts out to you guys for watching. Let me know when we again leave a comment on what we're talking about as well. What you guys' thoughts are, we'll pop you up on the screen. But Z gave us a perfect segue into what was season 3 of Bridgerton. And so, like, if you're watching this, you probably already have seen, Bridgerton at all. But for those who don't know, it is a period piece. It's a romance period piece. And there's seven different Bridgerton kids, right? And every single show focuses on the different kids. This season specifically is focused on Colin and Penelope, right? And their like love thing. And and that's the first thing I want to touch on is their relationship, and where they started from. But like I do want to say this. In a season that was supposed to be focused on Colin and Penelope, I feel like they were overshadowed by
Yeah.
everybody else. Like it didn't feel like this season focused on them specifically. Now maybe part 2 will do this, but I don't feel like this season was anything at all. And it says yes, Alan, I wanted more character development from Colin. But anyways, so Colin and Penelope. Well, let's start first there. What was y'all's thoughts on like how they got together? Because that was the biggest question for me. I have thoughts, and I don't want to like take the spotlight. What was y'all's thoughts on how they ended up getting together? And then we'll get to the carriage thing.
It
I
pissed me
knew
off
they
so
were-
bad.
What pissed you
No,
off, Gabby?
because she was about to get proposed to. I'm like, this man actually kind of liked you, and Colin has shown no interest in you. And he ruined it for her.
Which it was just crazy too, because I found it so weird that Colin goes away. There was no interest in Penelope at all until she like begged him to kiss her. And I was like, first of all, I was like, damn, that's desperate as hell. On the part of Penelope. I'm like, I understand she's like, I'm gonna be a spinster forever. But I literally wrote in my notes, I was like, that is desperate as hell of her to be like, just kiss me, Colin. And then he starts thinking about that kiss. I don't know, like maybe y'all have experienced. I know some of y'all, relationships, married. Have y'all experienced a kiss like that where it was just like, oh, I'm thinking about this person 24/7? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just that was weird that was the launching point to Colin being interested.
See, I don't think it was. I think he got interested as soon as he started helping her find a husband, because then he started seeing how she was interacting with other men and was like, oh, well, I'm kind of feeling her, always seeing where she's at, seeing who she's talking to. I think it happened way before the kiss. The kiss just kind of took it over the top.
I agree.
I
think
agree.
that was the first time he couldn't just like imagine it, but like like maybe see it for himself. Because I mean, you know, they portray them as best friends, but like in this period of time, like, you know, you don't see other opposite sex characters that are best friends. And so that's why like he went to his mom. And it did kind of bother me though that like he didn't start paying attention to her until like she changed her whole wardrobe. So like of course that's kind of like, really, you never thought just because she's your best friend outlaw just one time at anything. That's that part obviously seems a little shallow, but again fitting with what that time era was about and all that stuff. And so yeah, I think that he saw it, but he didn't want to admit it and was just like, oh, like what his mom said. I love the mom character, by the way. But like what his mom said, um, you know, all the little hints she was giving, because she knew she can see it before he did. And I thought that was, I love the mom.
I absolutely hate the way they got together. I despise it so much because I was just like, first of all, Penelope is Lady Whistledown. I was like, when I saw the trailers and I was like, oh, she changed her wardrobe. I was about to be like, she's about to come in like boss babe. I'm getting all the man, like I'm the boss chick. And then Colin would have been begging on his knees to get with her, and she would be like, it's too late. And then he would have to try to convince her. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting some type of like, I did not expect that level of desperation. That took me by surprise. I was like, there's no way she just begged this man to kiss him right now. Like, there's no way that happened. It just, yeah, it threw me for a loop. I just thought that she would embody that Lady Whistledown character into her personal life. And she's like, okay, like, I don't care about these men. I have a business I'm running. I can like, you know, I thought they would go that route. And it could have been interesting, but I can see it as at that time, like it was more unrealistic. And you know, she's new to everything. She was obviously a virgin and everything, so she's probably like a little shy. But she was a really good writer and later Whistledown, so I thought she was gonna embody that a little, like I said. And then just once she changed her wardrobe, she would come into this character, and Colin would see her, but it'll be like it's too late, and then he would like beg her to get together. That's what I thought, but you know. It is what it is. I just thought it was too desperate, and I was like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this for Penelope. She already went through a lot of like just struggles, internal struggles, and self-hate, and all these things she's going through internally. And I'm like, for her to get together with the love of her life like that, it just felt really underworld. And I was like, I don't like this. So I don't know what y'all think, but yeah.
So quick, I appreciate that, Z. I just wanted to touch on. For some reason, I can't pop up Instagram comments on the chat, only YouTube comments. But there is a person in here that we all know. His name is Indian Duca, and he said, Z, that's exactly how season 2 went. The way you wanted to go is exactly how they did in season 2.
And
So
that's why season 2 is
that's
so good.
Exactly.
it was. Yeah, season 2 was really good. So I agree
I
with that.
suppose.
But I just want to make sure I touch on his comment because he's in the Instagram comments. So.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Anyways, anybody else comments on how they got together? I know Angelique, you say you liked it, so
I mean, it's well, okay. So I liked that they got together for sure, but I think I do agree with Ziona. Like I did really think the way that they portrayed the previews that she was going to be like the confident, like coming in and like, you know, basically running it. And I was actually really surprised that it was like, you know, you saw her insecurities, but like you said, Ziona, just made her more real. But what I liked about like after the kiss is when they were showing like the dream of like them being together. And I loved that it was Colin like having these like dreams about Penelope that he had never had before. Because initially you're kind of like, oh, Penelope's probably dreaming about this because you know her feelings and history with how she feels about Colin. And then it's Colin waking up from that dream. So that was actually, I really liked that part.
Yeah, same. I was thankful it was Colin's dream. I thought it was Penelope at first, and I was like, girl, this is too much. And it was Colin.
No, I was gonna be mad. I'm like, Penelope, get up, please. Get up.
But you know, I kind of disagree with y'all when y'all say that y'all thought that she was going to be that chick when she changed. Like, she was that chick until she got exposed that Colin was helping her, because all the guys were like, oh, let me go talk to her. Let me go talk to her. And then when it came to find out that she couldn't even get a man herself, that's when the guys are kind of like, I don't know if I really want to talk to her.
That's true.
Yeah.
She was like that by her looks, by her appearance. It was like,
right.
Yes. But her like actual like confidence and like projection and stuff was not. And I think that's what I mean is like her like being able to speak and like have these conversations and be witty and like how she is as Lady Whistledown, or even just like how you see her as her character.
Yeah. I just think she's not used to men talking to her, even giving her the time of day. So that wouldn't have changed even if she changed her look.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So yes, and I love this dialogue right now. I agree with what you guys are saying. I think though, like it was funny to see her like try to talk to dudes and like just like fumble all over herself as well. Like she had no idea what she was talking about because she was just like not used to it. But like I feel like she had put herself in the corner. She put herself in the corner literally, but like figuratively as well, because she never like chose to like be out in society. Like she had her debut or whatever, but like I don't know. You never in the first season or second season did it seem like you were interested in finding a husband, even though she was out. And then I don't know what it was, what the switch was for her. Maybe she was like, this is my last year for me, like to be out, which is crazy too. It's like their debut is like what 16, 17 years old, and then you have 3 years to find a husband. Otherwise, you're gonna be a spinster for the rest of your life, like unwed.
That too.
That's the craziest thing. Like imagine being a 15, 16-year-old girl and at 19 you're done. Like you're toast. Like get out of here. All the dudes are like 60 years old and unmarried and they're lords or whatever. And like the women, it's like if you're 20 and you're unmarried, like there's no hope.
Like they made was it Kate, right? Anthony and Kate? Is that her name? Yeah. They made her seem like she was so old. And then I think they referenced her age again in this series. It was like she at the age of, they said it in that terms, but like basically 27. And I was just like, yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is a crazy just 3 years. But I do want to say one thing. And he says makes sense to me. That's hilarious. But I do want to say one thing is the Colin traveling thing. Like I feel like that entire storyline of him traveling was unneeded, right? Like what did he like? They said he learned all this stuff, and like I guess he had a sexual awakening because like there's these brothel scenes, and I'm like, what does these brothel scenes do to the storyline? Like what? Other than like him going from enjoying sexual pleasure to like being with the women and being like, no, I'm in love with Penelope. I'm not gonna partake. I'm just gonna watch. Like it was just so weird. I literally was watching. I wrote down in my notes. I was like, what does this scene? Like why? Why are we showing a brothel scene? I don't know. Like maybe they just wanted to add more to the story, but I don't know.
Yeah, it was so random. It was so random. It was not connecting at all. And that's why I said he needed more character development, because his storylines were not connecting. Like he needed a challenge to overcome. And all he did was travel. And that's it. And sleep with beautiful women. Okay, what else? What else is to you? What else? At least Anthony was like, he was overcoming, I think he was the first son and he was supposed to love and all those different things. Like that's like a character development that he overcame, or like some challenge or something. But Colin, I don't know. So hopefully,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Sorry. I was gonna say, I just feel like his character development wasn't gonna come from this season because he had his like moments of like growth and like who he is in season 1 with Marina, and how he is, how he loves. It's just he's very soft, he's very gentle, and then you see him kind of grow into this point of like, I want to be like the men and chasing that stuff, pute. So I don't know. That's my perspective, and it's probably really different from everybody else's, but I think that like, even though we don't know too much of how he became who he is, there's a lot of that with all the characters because we don't know really what happens after the season is over.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think when I saw the brothel scenes, I thought they were instantly trying to get us to see them like the previous male characters. Like that's what they all did. And because that didn't really show that of Colin in the past, I think they were trying to like put it like that's now where he is. He became a ladies' man when he like traveled and like, you know, slept with all these women apparently. And so obviously I kind of remember too, like, yes, you know, it is a storyline that we love on Netflix, but it's probably so much deeper in the books. And I mean, that's what they always say is like the books are better because of the detail they give. So I'm curious if the books gave him the depth and it was just really rushed because they wanted part one to end with them getting together kind of deal.
Yeah. Which honestly, I didn't expect them to get together. Like, I didn't expect that situation to happen in part one. Like, we could talk about the carriage scene, because anyway, but it's I did not like my expectation for that was not until part two. Like, I thought personally that they would build up to that, and then like maybe them share an embrace, like a kiss or something, maybe in the carriage. But that was way more. We got way more into like he got a whole proposal. I guess he was like, "Are you gonna come with me?" Yeah, and so like honestly, I'm a little bit scared for part two because just how shows typically work, right? Like if that happened on episode four, what happens in the next four episodes? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
anything could go wrong.
Do they
But
break? I don't know.
they might, like what, like, I mean, we know they're together. Like, not to spoil it for anybody, but there's literally a graphic out there that you can go see, and you can see every single storyline and like know like who ends up with who. But like, no, I don't know. I don't think they mess up. Shouts out to everybody on the live. We have a lot of people in here now. We got a few people on Instagram as well. For you guys on IG, I can't put your comments up on the screen like I do for the YouTube people. So if you guys are watching on IG, I see you in the comments. Deandra said, "We live, baby." And then if there's anybody on YouTube, feel free to comment. Leave a comment. I'll add you to our merch giveaway at the end of this as well. We'll do that. Anybody on IG, same thing. But the YouTube is where you guys can leave comments. I can put them on the screen. So IG people, join the YouTube. You can stay on IG if you want to, but join the YouTube if you want your comments to be on the screen. But anyway, so back to the storyline, Colin and Penelope. That again, we just gotta talk about it because that carriage scene like was so well. Like first of all, the Lord that pursued Penelope, I was like that was so weird because like maybe my mind's always just about love and like the perfect love seeing, but like the fact that he was going to marry Penelope just because he was like I need to marry somebody and she's going to take care of my estate, like low key she should have got with him over Colin. Um, that's just me. Lord, what was his name? Lord
Devlin.
Lord
Yeah.
Devlin, right? And then like Gabby said, Colin ruins it and then goes into the carriage and they just start making out in the carriage. Like you're going to your house. They got surprised that the carriage stopped. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, were you planning on having sex in the carriage? Like, what is going on this entire scene in y'all's mind? I mean, they were just in the throes of heat, so I understand, but like, damn, that was a lot that happened in the span of like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
I think with Lord Dublin, he liked Penelope more than we thought he did because he actually liked the fact that, I mean, she said at first, "Oh, I'm interested in grass and da da da," but then she changed and said, "I actually don't like any of those things. This is actually what I like." And he was like, "Well, I don't want to marry someone who's like me." And that's what really I feel like brought him to like her even more. That she wasn't just trying to like what he liked just because.
Yeah, she was honest. She was herself with him, and I feel like she really don't be doing that with Colin sometimes.
I feel like, first of all, like both of them it was gonna work practically because for Penelope, she wanted to get out of her parents' house. She hated her siblings and her parents. She's like, I want to get out of here and I want to go live comfortably. and just take care of and she wanted space too because it works out. He was gonna be traveling. She could do her Lady Whistledown stuff. It was practical.
It was perfect.
But it would not be Bridgerton without the love, the passion, the romance.
Boo.
It would not be Bridgerton. If she got with that dude, I would have been pissed. Like, what? Where's the romance? Where is it? So I feel like it makes sense that she got with Colin. I just wish it would have been prolonged, because now, like you said, Savon, I'm scared. Like something's about to happen. Like they're about to fight or something. I don't know. But it's or maybe she goes back to that guy. I don't know what happens. But practically it would have made sense, but it would not have, what the fans love about Bridgerton without the love and the romance. So I'm glad she picked Colin.
Yeah.
But I don't think she would have been happy with, even though that was more practical, you could tell she was not happy about marrying him eventually, because she's like, well, dang, he's going to be gone. I'm going to have to handle all this stuff myself. It's not even going to be like a real marriage.
Yep.
I think they said that
By
they've been
yourself,
gone for like 3 years or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Long time. And for her, she asked like that towards the end when she realizes that it's gonna happen. Like she really starts she asked him could we ever fall in love or stuff like that. And although again, I know we've been saying the Colin stuff has been rushed, I was very glad to see that the carriage scene did not disappoint. And because the season 2 is the how there's always that scene that's the, what is it, love, I can't even think right now, but it's the scene, the other one with Anthony was you vexed me or whatever. And so I was so glad that this one was just as that grand gesture, because I was like, how are they going to top this? They're not really together yet. This is the last episode, and then he puts it all together. And I was like, okay, here we go.
But they haven't given us our one-liner, whatever they call it. Every Bridgerton episode has that one line that everyone repeats. We don't have it yet. I don't think we have it.
I think they tried it. I was trying to pay attention to what he was telling her, but again, I caught it, but it wasn't memorable to where I was like, that's it. But I can tell it was in there somewhere.
They tried, but I'm like, try again.
It was the carriage. He tried to give her a line in the carriage, but it wasn't there. Real quick, I do want to read Anna's comment. So she said she did like how open and honest their conversations were, the one-on-one conversations between Lord Devlin and Penelope. It was refreshing, even knowing that she'll end up with Colin. I would like to see the connection be fleshed out more. And I agree. That's why I think it would have been good to to extend the storyline to go to where they get together, maybe episode 6, of the next season. I just it's just so quick. It happens so quickly. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't hate it how it happened, but for me, again, Penelope and Colin's story of all the stories has been lackluster. In my opinion. So.
Well, I don't think we're gonna find anything from Lord Devlin and Penelope going forward, because he was like, all right, can tell I'm number 2. I'm not. He's like, well, you like her, right? Or you love him, right? Oh, well, we're never going to be together. That's not what I asked you. Do you love him?
No, he was like, that's not what I said. He was so fast. I'm like, okay, dang.
Yeah, which he put 2 and 2 together quickly. He was because I didn't even think about the whole the room is across. I literally hadn't put that together. That she's just in the corner sitting staring at Colin every day. It's weird. Honestly, it's a little
stalkerish, but
a little stalker.
I feel like Penelope, they're feeding into every girl's Delulu right now that you can get your crush that you thought from a mile away. You cannot.
Don't give up.
Don't be Delulu, girls. Don't be Delulu.
That's so funny.
It's not gonna turn out like Penelope, but
never give up. So yeah, I'm. It's gonna be interesting to see where their story goes. Any other comments on Penelope's relationships with her and Eloise, Colin? Anything you guys have comments on related to Penelope before we move on to the other people within the show?
You know what? I thought that, after obviously what she did was horrible. I thought after they amend things, they could form an alliance, and she can help Lady Whistledown and they build this empire. That's what I'm thinking. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but maybe they can, because she exposed herself too. So at this point, she's like, no one's safe. like I threw myself under the bus, so it's not just you. So hopefully, you know, she can get over that, and you know, their relationship can go back together, and they can be stronger. Because I know the queen is after them, and once the queen finds out that she's laid a whistle down this
It's
whole
done.
time,
It's over.
wraps.
But so that's interesting you brought that up because like it seemed like season 2, the queen was really interested in finding Lady Whistledown, but this season is kind of like honestly, the queen has been on the back burner kind of like she's refusing to pick a diamond, right? She's like, I don't know if I want to do a diamond this year. She's like, it's a rare thing. So like, there's been scenes with the queen, but I think because of the focus of Queen Charlotte, there hasn't been like that big of a like queen emphasis in this season or her like interest in finding Lady Whistledown.
Yeah.
Loves it. She loves Lady Whistledown, even though
She
she
does.
Something that I do want to say, kind of going back to the carriage scene. I don't know if anyone else felt this because, like, it's kind of like, okay, Colin's gonna express how he feels to Penelope, but when Penelope said, "But Colin, we're friends," and was just quiet, I was like, "Girl, you're about to ruin it now." Like he's like proclaiming his love for you, and you're just saying, "But we're friends," and then he was like, "Oh well, you know, I'm sorry," and then she continued what she needed to say. I wanted to throw that in there because I remembered that part and I was like freaking out for a second. I was like, there's no way they're going to prolong this at this point. Come on.
No, for real. I was like, why are you self-sabotaging yourself? This is literally the only thing you wanted, and you're going to say we're friends? Like,
Literally.
I didn't ask for a kiss. You didn't beg for a kiss. Be serious.
I think that she was playing, I want to say almost she was playing dumb though, because like she just wanted him to say it. So like in a way, she was just kind of like, yeah, we're friends. Like I kind of think that, but like tell me I'm wrong kind of deal. So kind of like back to the borderline desperation kind of thing. Like let me like just say it to me. But that was what I got. I was like, oh, okay, either she's really playing dumb or she really wants him to say it and she kind of feels it too.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Actually, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because she is really big on romance. Like she reads romance books, like you know, like that's her thing. So like, spit to me the line of what my heart wants to hear from you as we are in the throes of heat. That's pretty funny. But yeah, like that scene, I thought that was funny too when she was like, "But we're friends, Colin. But I want to be more than friends." You know, it's like
yes, much more.
So, but it's so interesting, like I don't know, like it's like where do they go from here with that like carrot scene? Like, are they going to like extend the carrot scene? You know what I mean? Like, like how does the proposal work? Because that wasn't really a proposal. He just been out with you, damn near got into it.
You've been compromised, girl.
I totally thought, I thought for a split second that he was like totally just gonna go against all the rules and be like, "Come over and come to my bed."
Right.
No, same.
You better not.
I thought that's
Better
what was
do it the right
happening.
way.
That's so funny. Didn't Kate and Anthony do the same thing before they got married? So
No, they were crazy. They did that outside.
Right, they did.
In the rain.
Hey, I forgot about that. They did. They sure did. This show. Well, cool. So yeah, Colin and Penelope. Their story again is the focus of this season. But in my opinion, out of everything I'm watching this season, I am more interested in Francesca's story. Like watching this season and seeing the love story between Colin and Penelope, it's friends to lovers trope. But like Francesca's storyline, I'm literally like, bro, can we talk more about this? Because I think that's probably gonna be the next season. And honestly, I think this season is really just setting up the other seasons. I'm not gonna say it's the most boring, but like it feels like those storylines are just a little bit more intriguing than Colin and Penelope's. So, but Francesca's story seems very fascinating. How she is now going to be like that looks like the next diamond. I mean, she's been shined upon by the queen or whatever to an extent, and then she has like this, I don't know, lord that the queen wants to introduce her to, and then you got the boy, I don't know his name, forget his Lord something, Lord Milton or something like that. Kilmartin, yeah. And she's more interested in him, and he's just like a quiet music guy and Black King, and she's interested in that. And first of all, let's talk about that, right? Like I'm
talk about it, Savon.
these women, these Bridgerton women, love them some dark kings. Like, let's be for real.
They love them.
Let's be for real.
The
Like
mom, yep.
the mom, she had a little bit of an eye. You know the what's it? The first daughter,
Daphne.
Daphne, who we haven't seen her
Daphne.
in forever, by the way, but Daphne, she married a light skinned dude, but still dark king. Francesca's interested in this dude, and it looks funny to me too because the mom, she kind of made a face like this dude, you know what I mean? And I was like, hold on, not the dark skinned man. Like
Yeah,
you
you
like the
didn't
light
like
skinned
that.
man, but
That's
the
not
dark
how
skinned
she
man, you kind of
meant
give a
it.
face too. Like, what are we doing here? But anyways, I just thought Francesca's storyline to me seems to be more interesting than Colin and Penelope's. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
100% yes. I've been invested in them more than Colin because I didn't really care about them. I'm just watching it because I like Bridgerton. But yeah, I was more interested in what they had going on because I was like, oh, you're actually interested in this dude, even though you didn't want to do this. Period. Honestly, you're just trying to get a husband so you can not do this anymore.
Yeah.
No, honestly, with both of them, I'm gonna have to see. I mean, they set it up nicely, but the whole like awkward silence thing they got going on, I don't get it. They're in their own little world, just like not talking to each other, but somehow they get each other. It's cute. I don't think it necessarily over trumped Colin and Bridgerton is because they've been setting Colin and Bridgerton up for a long time, and I'm still waiting to see what else is gonna happen. But they definitely set I forgot her name. What's her name? They
Francesca?
definitely set up her story for next season. I'm interested to see if she's gonna stay with that man or find someone else that gets her. Because so far she seems to be very like an oddball, and he's the only one that kind of gets her. So I love it for them though.
Yeah, I would say that I kind of agree. I don't feel like it's overshadowing Penelope and Colin because it's like literally what I've been waiting for. Is like I want to know what's gonna happen with Penelope and Colin. But I do want to know more about Francesca and her story, and like because she's been away at Bath for ever, literally every season, pretty much. So we don't really know anything about Francesca, and we're getting like little snippets here, and we know that she's more reserved. She's loves music, and like Gabby was saying, she's just kind of wants to get it done and over with. But now she's meeting someone that is potentially someone very similar to her, and it's piqued her interest. And I think when that peak happened for her, it happened for me as watching the show.
Yeah, I think they did a good job getting us interested in their storyline. So I don't know if that'll be like the same amount of focus as Penelope and Colin, the part 2, or is it still going to be like just in the background or what? But I did think that it was weird. I mean, again, like as a normal reaction, like when he just walks away, when he leaves, when they're talking to each other, and then it ended up he came back to do this like super cute grand gesture, which was cute. Like he got her, but at the same time, like maybe he doesn't have like the norm social skills as like everybody else, or maybe even the same as her. But I think that was kind of their intention, was to like realize that we should be rooting for her to be with this guy because it's love and it's not just the perfect fit. And then just get us hooked from the beginning to the next few parts or whatever.
For sure. I don't know what neurospicy is. What does that mean? Y'all know what that means? And I don't know what that means. The neurospicy.
I guess it's something intellectual. I don't know.
I think it's like
Neurotypical.
she's like
Like
spicy,
brain.
but like like a
Yeah.
I don't know, like a
They're like I saw
I
this
thought
TikTok that people were talking about, like they were using the sound like she likes that autistic man. I don't know. I think they're kind of like
Not
he's kind of
autistic. Oh my god.
in a good way because I feel like they're just really smart people, especially with music and stuff. So they probably just get each other, and I love it.
yeah, I by the way, what she said too. I loved the music thing. Like it was. I was like, bro, this is game. Like game recognized game. This man wrote a song for this girl. Like he knows. Like that's why I'm like so interested in the story. Because it's a Black King, one, and then two, this man wrote a song for this woman. I'm like, man, no, didn't rearrange the song, but that I think again, that's why, like, literally this season, again, Colin Penelope is focused, but I'm like, Francesca's story is about to be lit next season. I'm excited to see that for sure.
I, can I say something real quick? I just found it interesting that she went outside to just kind of get away from everything, and he was out there trying to talk, and she's like, "I just want to be in silence," and they're just sitting there quietly, and then like that was it for her. That's she's like, "I can do this. I like
The
her."
one.
I
And he
mean, that's
figured
my
out who she was to go and call on her to know where to go. So even though he didn't know her name.
No, he found her real fast.
Do they all know each other in the ton? Like all the ton people, they all just know each other's names or
oh, 100% they know
Yeah.
each other. Like, cause
Although I think they said, didn't they say that there was like 100 women presented to the queen or something? Was I wrong?
maybe
I don't remember that detail in it, but there might have been. But but I would say the ton they know each other because we see I forget the boxer's family, but we see them start like they got an inheritance and they're now part of the ton as well. And then you see all these lords start harassing the boxer about having this bar. They're like, if you're gonna be part of the ton, you can't work, which is so interesting to me. It's like you can't have a business, you can't work, you gotta get rid of that in order to preserve this thing that we got going in town. We don't work to the point where they even say the queen will get mad if this dude's working, owning his business, which is so crazy. Um, but yeah, any comments there,
where they
thoughts?
get their money from then? What do they do? They all
The son inherited the Kent.
Yeah, well,
Money.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was like the only boy born, right? Out of
Yeah.
all of them.
Only male heir.
so if the
Yeah.
people of the ton don't work, where do they all get their money from?
lineage.
Lineage, so it doesn't run out, it just keeps going.
It's you have land. You have well, actually, it could run out because we saw the Featheringtons. Like their whole situation is they're struggling with money, and that's
Oh yeah,
why
they was
they have to
broke.
like preserve. Like that's like she gets not served papers, but they're kind of like investigating her because she married. She was running out of money with her husband because her husband in season one spent all the money, and then season two she marries the cousin, I think it was, and then the
Mhm.
cousin died if I remember correctly in season two, or he left or something like that, and then she got his money, but then not legally left to her. It's kind of a whole weird situation between the Featheringtons, but they do run out of money. So that it's like, what do you do when you run out of money? You just you have to preserve this. You have to buy all these dresses. They only wear those dresses one time, which is crazy to me because
Yep.
I remember Cressida's mom being like, "We might have to wear these dresses twice." And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
Don't get me started on Miss Cressida Cowper
Yeah.
because she was looking like she was ready for the Hunger Games.
I saw that too.
I was like, why? Why?
That's funny. So you guys aren't a fan of Cressida?
No.
I feel like she's just a product of struggle. I don't like.
Mm.
I kind of get because she, like, deep down, she wants a friend. She was trying to be good to, dang, I forgot the other girl.
Eloise.
Eloise, yeah, she was trying to be good to Eloise. So deep down, she wants a friend. She wants to be a good friend, but she was just brought up in a very cold, harsh environment. I think
Mhm.
her house, like she was talking about how her house looks like a freaking, it's just a library or books. It's just no warmth, no, there's no love in their house. And I think that's how she grew up, and that's just how she's learned to survive. She's just a mean girl character. And I judged her before, but like learning a little bit about her story, I kind of understand. And I'm hoping that she does soften up and she does like meet, someone for her. I actually hope that. So
I agree.
Mhm.
I feel the same way about Cressida. Like she starts off kind of like as the villain, and you're like, oh, like you don't like a mean girl. But this season has shown you a little bit about maybe more so why she was the way that she is, and you see a little bit more of like a soft side to her, and trying to like bring that out. And she's like, yeah, she wants friends, she wants a husband and all those things. So it kind of brings out, for me at least, like I do want to see if she can, win in some way, having a husband and finding love and seeing like how the type of person she can become. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I feel for her. Like, I get it. Like, in the beginning, I was just like, but it unraveled more and more of like she admitted to where she had the choice to like, turn it into a competition and how she would say things behind their backs. And I really thought that she would spread that gossip that
Mhm.
Eloise told her, and I thought it was going to come back to her. And then I thought that was kind of cute that she didn't. And I was like, oh, well, maybe, she is bringing out the best in her. But then I thought it was funny again, like it still kind of showed still who she is at the end when Eloise was telling her views and her opinions. And then she's like, okay, so anyway, bye. And like just totally left her for, trying to get married because that's what
She
she
did
wants to do.
not care at that moment.
Yeah. She's like, okay, thanks. I heard you. And
Man, I'm trying to
Well, if you think about it, she has a lot of pressure on her because she's on year 3 too, so she's about to be a spinster as well.
Mhm.
So she's like, I gotta, no one's catching my eye. And her mom's like, no, you're gonna marry somebody, or I'm gonna figure it out for you. And that kind of reminds me of how Lady Danbury was. Like, she had to marry that old man, and she wasn't
That was
happy.
so bad. Oh my
Awful.
gosh.
Well, they talk about that too, like love matches, right? Like they call that's a real like most people get married for just like financial reasons or like this is what we do. Like we're not a love match. This is just a marriage. Which is interesting. Like now is everything shifted to where it's like you get married for love, but it's interesting to watch like these period pieces where they didn't get married for love. It was literally for land and wealth and title, and if there was love, that's interesting. So, yeah, she is very mean to Pin. I don't know, Cressa. I don't hate Cressa. I do like the fact that she's soft. They softened her character a little bit in the season, and now I think she's probably gonna end up with Lord Devlin. Um, I think that's probably like kind of the route it will go down because Pin is getting with Colin. Couple more characters. No, we're winding down. We're almost at the hour mark. Winding down. So, a couple other characters that were in this season, storylines that really kind of there, but not really. We see Benedict Bridgerton kind of doing he was doing like his art thing in season 2, and then now he's just like trying to avoid society and getting married, and then ends up with this sophisticated lady that I don't know if they're gonna work out. Like it just seems like I don't know. He's just there. Like I like Benedict and Eloise are just like what are they gonna do with those characters? They're just playing on the sideline. I mean, like, I guess that was Colin and Penelope too, but it just like it doesn't seem like Benedict has like a real route to like marriage or whatever. Maybe this lady is gonna be like the future Bridgerton, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like he's just like messing around a lot with that.
I feel like with Benedict though, he was bored with like just the women of like not being intellectual, and that's why he never really had anyone that interested in his mind. Because once that girl started talking about the balloon and that she was an engineer, it sparked his interest of, oh dang, she's smart. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna end up wanting to be with her, and she's not gonna want him
You think?
because he was like, I'm here to call on you. She's like, I don't want to be called on. Let's just, you know.
like it was her idea. Like it wasn't even his.
So I feel like she's kind of shown like where her interest is, but we could see it change. I don't know. So
dang, I already know what happened, but I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. Go read the book.
Have you read the book, Z?
No, but I like follow accounts that have read the books. They already have a casting for next season with Benedict and his love interest. I told you about it, and so it's I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but
Yeah, please don't.
yeah,
I still
want to watch it.
right.
I mean, I like I said before, I saw like I don't remember who Benedict marries, but I saw like so I know he'll end up married somebody. That's what.
Even Eloise, they're gonna get Eloise together.
Which is crazy because like I can imagine Eloise's match. Like it doesn't. Again, they'll introduce somebody, but there does not seem like there's a character out there that matches like because she's very like I don't want to say pro woman, but she's like
Independent.
why are we getting married? Like this, women need to be doing this. Like she's very like
anti everything what this is about.
Exactly. Like the first feminist, in
But
the world.
you see her kind of getting soft too because she's like, hanging out with Cressida. I think that helped her as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm dressing like this, and why do you have your hair like that? You don't ever have your hair like that. So I think that helped her too.
Yeah.
And I thought she was gonna be with that dude from last season. I don't remember his name, but then
Yeah, the newspaper guy.
they were perfect for each other.
They were perfect. I miss him.
They were so
no,
cute.
no way she's gonna taint her reputation by getting with a peasant.
Boo.
They're
She don't even care about
they're gonna
that.
cast her
She
out of society.
doesn't.
Does that literally cast her out of society? But no, Eloise's story, especially the book, is so good. Like, it's so interesting, and I'm just like excited for that story. I feel like she's such an interesting character. She does have her flaws because I feel like sometimes she's so self-absorbed and she doesn't really like, even her relationship with Penn. She just never got Penelope. She was always like talking about her own interest and what she got going on, and I feel like that's why Penelope was never even comfortable sharing that she was Lady Whistledown with her in the first place. So she does have her character flaws, but overall, I just like how like unbothered she is. She does not even care like if she wants to get if they're gonna get married or whatever. She doesn't care. But I definitely feel like there's someone out there for her, and I feel like her story is the one out of all the everyone so far. I feel like I'm more excited about her story, and maybe that's because I've read the book. I haven't read the books, but I've like read summaries about the books. But I feel like she's someone that y'all should definitely watch out for a story. Yeah.
I hope they do it well. I hope they do
Yes.
her story well.
Agree.
Exactly.
She's definitely
Awesome.
someone along with like Penelope that you just are invested in. You know, you just want to see what happens.
Awesome. Well, any other comments on this season? Any characters? Any thoughts on the plot? Before we wrap up, anything else?
I'm
Ready
glad
for
it ended
part
with. I'm glad it ended with the carriage scene.
Yeah. That's the part that I was screaming in. I told you guys I was screaming. I was literally like, ah!
Literally, everyone was screaming.
I was like smiling watching it, and Anthony, my husband, opens the door. He's like, "What are you smiling about?" I'm like, "You just missed it."
I would say my final thoughts though. Let Violet Bridgerton's flower bloom.
Oh
No,
my gosh,
that's what I was about to
Bloom her
say.
flower, especially with that black man. I'm like, go ahead and bloom the flower. Okay,
No, she's
Go ahead and bloom.
flower.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Z is she looked at that man and was like, yes, I'm gonna get him.
You look kind of scared though. I was like, why are you scared? You wanted your flower to be, but I'm kind of scared of like, why does like the sister hate him so much? I don't know why their dynamic.
Yes, I'm
They're
curious about that too, and I want to learn more about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the history between her and what's her name? You just said it.
Lady Denver.
There, yes, Lady Denbury.
Isn't it the same? I think I know why. Because remember in Queen Charlotte, they
In that garden.
he had sold her pretty much to be with Lord Danbury.
Oh, is that the same one?
In that
Or does she have more than one
Is
brother?
that the same brother? That's what I
I
was
think
wondering.
so.
Oh yeah,
That makes more sense.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a whole new brother. I'm like, where'd this new dude come
No,
from?
I think that's why she doesn't like him, because literally he was just like, oh well, you're gonna get married and we're gonna get the money from it. So that's why she doesn't have a very good relationship. Because even through Queen Charlotte, she kind of like despised him after that.
Dang, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that makes sense.
I'm rewatching Queen Charlotte right now because I had that question. So I'm like, okay.
I started season 1 again. So I can just see all this stuff.
Awesome. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I want to touch on this. It's so I looked at the cast. Do you guys know how old all these characters are? Like the actual like actors.
They're
and
like
I
that.
actresses?
think Penelope's
I
like
thought
30 or
Penelope
something.
is like 37.
Yeah, she
Every
looks good.
cast
I'm like,
member
okay,
is
what?
over 30.
That's so crazy.
Everyone.
Everyone is over 30, which is crazy because they're playing like 17-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids, and they're all over 30,
Wow.
which is so interesting to me. Yeah, like Penelope is 37 years old.
I know. Crazy.
The magic of makeup, y'all.
Yeah, or she plays at 19 years old. She's 70. She's 70 or 37. Excuse me. So, anyways, well, yeah. So appreciate you guys for tuning into our review of season 3, part 1. Last question, last thing we'll talk about is what are y'all's expectations for part 2? What are you expecting? What do you want to happen in part 2? And we'll wrap up with that.
I want to see a wedding, like an actual like wedding part, like not just like okay we're married and here's the honeymoon kind of deal. But I don't know if we'll see it. That's high hopes, I guess. But I don't know. I saw that Eloise. I mean, did y'all all see like the intro to like the next part? Right? Yes.
I
or no?
haven't.
No?
So, but
I
feel free to
haven't.
share. Feel free to share though.
So Eloise gives Penelope an ultimatum, like either you tell Colin or I will. And I was just like, can we not? Like,
I'm sorry, but that's what I wanted.
no.
want her
I
to
mean,
be
yes.
Gabby,
Yes,
you want drama
okay.
and
Wow.
conflict.
Like I want Colin to find out, and I want him to fight her for it. That's what I've been waiting for, and that's what I'm gonna get next season.
Yeah. What if they actually like get married and then that happens? Because I feel like it's gonna be a struggle after they're already together and they can't like separate, just like the first season with Daphne and like the whatever the Duke of Hastings. Like they got married and they were like, oh shoot, this is horrible in the marriage, and but it like so I feel like they're gonna have some type of struggle love going
Oh,
on.
Colin gonna hate her.
Yeah, he's gonna hate her for that. So
Like
He
he'll
has to get over
respect
it.
her, but he's
They're
gonna hate her.
yeah.
She got him. You got to get over it.
He'll get over it. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Anybody else expectations? What they want to see from the season?
I want to see Lord Danbury and Lady Bridgerton blossom. I want to see how that goes.
Into
ready.
that garden.
Tend the garden. That's right.
Yes, I'm very curious about Violet Bridgerton and what's his name, Marcus something.
Danbury.
No, I don't think.
Well,
he's
no, it's not
Danbury.
Danbury because she got married. That was her mate. That was
She
her.
got
That's
married
right.
to.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that. And then, yeah, I'm definitely curious about what's going to happen with Cressida because obviously they build her character up a little bit more than I really was initially expecting. So I'm interested about that. I do want to see a wedding too because it was definitely rushed with Daphne and Simon, Anthony and Kate. It was like they just got married and yeah, that was it. So that would be nice to have a wedding.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just excited to see like the drama. I didn't know that happened, Bree, but I appreciate you sharing that because that does add more to
I
the
was so
storyline.
upset.
Well, I mean, like it's some like, but the thing is that interests me because like, does the queen find out now? Like, will Colin freak out because she did write some scathing stuff about Colin, and Colin's comments were like, "Oh, I hate Lady Whistledown" or whatever.
Yeah, like he's gonna ruin her or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
also,
So
no, I think the queen is given like a reward for any actual proof of who she is too. So like that, I think picks up back of what like as well. Like try to find out who it is.
Did y'all not see it at the end of the episode, the last four? So it'll
Yeah.
say like play the next season, and then you play it, and it shows the preview of the next.
oh, so
Yeah.
that's why I didn't. I guess I
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna go back to season 1.
Oh
the
yeah,
kerosene happened. I was like,
yeah. So if you rewatch it, it'll still play it.
Yeah. Go back.
okay. I'll go back and rewatch.
I was up at 4 a.m. watching it anyway, so they probably haven't uploaded that yet. I was like, once it like launched, I was there like play. Yeah, need to go back.
Z was up at 2 a.m. waiting for it to drop this season.
I was.
Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody for joining and sharing their thoughts. I'm excited for us to do this again for part 2 of the show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in as well for the live stream. We have people on IG throughout there. We have people on YouTube. Anna was the most person that commented, so shout out to you, Anna. You feel like the 7th person part of the chat, and you are the winner of our merch giveaway. Find me on Instagram, coffee and comments on Instagram, so I can get you some merch. Other than that, any last comments from you guys? Anything that you feel like you need to get off your chest about the season, or a wrap up? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to the episode of Coffee and Friends.
Bye.